Hey everybody, it's Brandy and you are watching Abstract Crafter. Today's video is the third part of this week's Drill With Me. So if you need a little company while you diamond paint or craft, or if you have any other work that you need company for, then just gather your materials and we'll get started as soon as we roll those intro credits. Why, hello, friends. Welcome back. If you're new, welcome. I am so glad you're here. I am going to start on the journal in this one, and hopefully this glare on the top will go away once we start. I have this piece of paper back here to kind of help with the bouncing because it annoys the heck out of me. I don't know how far we're going to get because I've never done a journal before, but I think maybe we can get through most of it. I'm actually going to go sideways on it. I'm not going to insert a picture of this one just because I don't think it's necessary. I'm going to start on the outside of it, and I want to kind of jump right into it because I do tend to waste a lot of time typically when it comes to getting started. And lately I've been noticing comments on some of my older videos that it doesn't bother me really because I'm not for everybody, let's just say, but people who don't like how chatty I am, well, I'm always gonna be chatty and it's always gonna take me a while to get to the point. So if that's not for you, I get it, because there's channels that are not for me and they're perfectly pleasant people. So I got my junk one ready. I don't know, should I zoom in? Let's zoom in a tiny bit. Just so that the journal is the whole focus and you can kind of see what I'm working on. I don't think I'm going to get rid of that glare up there. I just don't think it's going to happen. It's just the nature of the beast when it comes to diamond painting. And I do say that a lot, and since I'm going to be starting on this side, we'll kind of push the journal up a bit anyway. I will be moving the journal around a lot, so I'll try to stay in focus. So I think instead of getting into the emotion story guide, we're just going to finish with the get to know me tag so that I can kind of conclude that a little bit, and we'll just finish it when it's done, and then we'll be done with this video. No matter how long it is, this week's Drill With Me did go a little bit longer, but today is going to be no exception. I am sick. You can't tell because I've just dosed up on some Sudafed, the good stuff from behind the counter, because the stuff that you get not behind the counter doesn't work as well for me. I'm going to start first by getting rid of garbage, because I mentioned in one of the last ones that I just like to go. I don't like to be stopped by junk drills, but these ones actually look like they're in better condition than the key rings were. So I'm going to start with this outside border, if I didn't say that already. I don't have any different updates. I am doing this on a different day because my battery died on me last night. Ooh, that's a different feeling. So I had to pick up the next day. And a lot of times I like to film when my son leaves. So I'm actually getting to film early. One of the things before I start the questions, one of the things though that is a little bit different for me is my kids are online schooled, so my schedule isn't very consistent. So like normally during the day, parents whose kids are in school, they have that downtime, but I'm also a teacher. It's not, honestly, it's not that much different from when I was doing homeschooling, when I was homeschooling the kids. You know what? I am going to end up having to take this whole plastic cover off because I think it's going to go a little bit quicker than I thought. A lot of you guys said that these go pretty quick. But anyway, so I'm end up, you know, I mean, for the most part, they can be pretty self-motivated, but I do have to help them. Especially, like, when it comes to reading and writing stuff. Like, I'm really good at that. Like, that's, like, my strong suit in school. But it seems to be all my kids' is, like, weakest points. So, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I really need to be a lot more hands-on. Whereas, like, when they get into math, I'm, like, useless. Completely useless. So, I just wanted to add that in before we start, because I'm just excited that I get to film right now. I think the point of me telling you that was to say that my kids, you know, being online school, we don't have a set schedule. Like, they just need to get their work done by a certain date. And so they can be a little bit more lax. And my kids seem to get off track on their sleep schedules. That they can be a little bit more lax in their sleep schedule, and they tend to get off on that very easily. See, this Sudafed is... I get very medicine head when I take any kind of medication. So, forgive me for being rambly and flighty. I am a very flighty person in general, so when I have medicine head, it's even worse. My apologies in advance, but because they can have a lax sleep schedule, right now they're kind of backwards, so they're staying up later and going to bed earlier. And right now I have a lot of free time because they've decided to go to bed early today at like 3 p.m. So, while I don't, you know, if it made them get off track in school and stuff, then I'd probably be a little bit more strict. But they're good kids, and they do what they're supposed to do. They get their work done, so I'm not going to complain too much. I am going to take advantage of the time that I have been given to film videos for you wonderful people. So, I think the last thing that we left off on was the question of what is your favorite type of clothing, and I talked a little bit about my favorite style being bohemian, boho for short. I've always really liked that very laid-back style, and I already answered that question, so of course I'm not going to go into depth. I just kind of wanted to refresh you. If you missed that video, or the one before it, in which I worked on the butterfly keychains, them will both be linked down below and up in the eye for your convenience. You can go back and watch them if you decide that that is something that you would like to do to know what I talked about. I have only worked on this questionnaire this week, this Get to Know Me tag, so I didn't do any emotions story guide this week. We'll get back into it next week. That'll give me some time to come up with the rest of the stories that I want to share with you. And then once we finish that, I will also get into some ghost stories for October, since we are officially in October. And then I will also be sharing with you my recovery story. I have never officially told a story start to finish to anybody outside of my family, so I'm kind of nervous but kind of excited to do that. And I'll give you ample warning if it's not something you care to listen to. You know, it'll be in the title. It'll be very obvious that that's what's going on. So, now let's finish this tag. The next one, number 48, is what is your favorite way to pass time? And I mean, that's pretty obvious because it's the same as a lot of you guys. I like to diamond paint. I like to work on different craft projects. I love doing DIYs and seeing materials that I have laying around the house and coming up for uses for them. I like finding solutions to different problems around the house. Like my cat, my little baby Umbra, she's too small to get up on my craft table, But my son's cat, Spook, isn't, and he can just hop right up here, but she's still too little to do that. So my husband built a ramp for her to get up, and it's the most adorable thing. So that's kind of an example of things that I like to do in my pastime, like how I like to DIY my life away. Anything I can do to use up materials or use them in unconventional ways, it's so fun to me. It's, I don't know, I have a mind that can think outside the box, and it's always been that way for me. I can't even like pinpoint a time when I haven't done that. I've always been thrifty and conservative, and I like to recycle, not for any other reason than I just find it fascinating to see what other uses I can have for other things, you know? Like, what else can I do with this? What else can I do with that? You know, it's interesting to me. And then I like to show it off because I like to see the people's reactions to that kind of thing when, you know, I've taken something unconventional and made it into something different. I like to hear people be like, oh my God, how did you do that? Or how did you come up with that? I don't know. It's a little bit egotistical in a way too, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. What is the name of your favorite restaurant? Well, I don't really eat out a whole lot, so it really depends on what I'm in the mood for. If my husband were to come to me right now and be like, let's go out to eat, your choice, I would really struggle. I don't like making decisions like that because I pretty much have a favorite meal at just about every restaurant. But if I had no other choice but to decide, there is this restaurant in my town called Julie's, and it's like one of those home cooked kind of restaurants where it's local, they're not a chain or anything, and you get a ton of food for a very small price. And they make this amazing chicken fried steak, and they call theirs chicken fried chicken. It's so good, and you can either get it as a dinner or as a breakfast meal. So depending on my mood, I can, you know, either have breakfast or have it as a dinner and still be quite happy with my choice. It's just really good food. What is your all-time favorite town or city and why? Well, you know, I'm not well traveled. I've not been to, obviously, I was about to explain what well traveled is. I am just something else tonight. I am not well traveled. I haven't been to very many places, but I have been to Seattle, Washington. My husband had to work out there, or he had to go out there for some training for a job once. And so I got to go out and visit him for a weekend. The company paid they were willing to either pay for you to go home for a weekend or for your family to come out for a weekend. And so I went out there and I had so much fun out there. So I want to say that that's my all-time favorite city, but because I'm not well traveled, I can't really say that because I've never really been to any other major city besides Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota. But there is a town called St. Cloud, and they are kind of like a big little city. You know, they're a bigger city, but with a small town feel. And I really like that place. They have the cutest little shops. They have in their state or city parks, not state parks, city parks, they have splash pads. If you are not aware of what splash pads are, it's basically like a free water park within a playground. And they're just amazing. And they have them all over the city. And they'll be filled with like sprinklers and like different things that'll dump water on you. And they're just the coolest thing. And even as an adult, I quite enjoyed playing in them with my kids. The last time we were there was a couple years back. And it happened to also be like one of the hottest summers on record. And those splash pads were such a blessing to come across. And I know my kids really got a kick out of them. And they'd have, different parks would have different things. And there's even a couple different parks that were designed specifically for younger kids. And they'd be almost like miniature pools. And the water would never go past your ankles. They were just so fun. Some of them have like little water slides that you can go down. And a lot of them have attendants on staff. So it's pretty cool. It's all part of their like city parks and rec program. And they have amazing shopping there. They have some really great restaurants there that aren't chain restaurants that you can go to. There's one called Val's that my husband and my son absolutely love. They're another one that's really cheap, but their big claim to fame is their fries, and they basically give you a lunch bag size bag, and they put an order, like a standard size order in there, and then they dump a whole bunch extra on top. So say for example you ordered a small fry, it was like equivalent to the size of a McDonald's small fry. It would really be like 4 McDonald's small fries, because they give you that little order and then they dump a bunch on top, and they're so amazing. If you like greasy restaurant fast food type fries, they are so good. And my son that's like his big thing is he can't wait till we go back so that we can go to Val's and get the fries. I don't particularly even find them all that great myself, but just because to know that my husband and my son love them as much as they do, it makes me want to go back just so that they can be excited about it. All right, let's see. What is your favorite candle scent? Well, I'm not really a candle person. I like wax melts, and I go through kind of a theme with this thing. With this whole questionnaire is I go through different, depends on the season and my mood. I tend to go for like clean linen smells. And more recently, I've actually been getting into like floral smells. I've never really cared for them before, but lately that's been like my go-to, is I really love floral scents. More realistic floral scents. No, not like the fakey floral scents. I do like that. And then like I do get into some sweeter smells. And like right now I'm really into like cinnamon smells, because I read somewhere that spiders have their senses, like they smell through the tips of their legs. And since this basement hadn't been well cared for up until recently, we've been using a lot of cinnamon and cloves, and there's a few other smells as well that they recommend for homemade spider sprays. So I've been using a lot of cinnamon more recently, which is a good time of year for it. I've been getting into some like pumpkin spice smells lately too. So while I don't enjoy candles as much, I do like wax melts a lot. I just feel like I get more for my money with wax melts. So I'd be curious, what is your favorite smell right now? Is there a smell that you just go crazy for and you really think that I should check it out? Let me know. Is there a type of wax melts out there that you guys recommend also? I like long lasting, and I don't really like the soft wax melts. I like the harder ones where you can just pop them right out of your I don't know, what do you call that thing? Like a machine? I don't know a wax melter. But I like the ones that pop right out. I've used soy ones before, but I just prefer non-soy, like for all the reasons I just said. But let me know, because I love trying new smells. Let's see. What's the next one? What is your favorite social media channel? Obviously, it's YouTube. And it was YouTube even before I started my own channel. So, because I don't get into Facebook a lot. I was very addicted, and I've told you guys a few times that I am not big for Facebook. There's so many reasons, and I could go on and on about why I dislike Facebook. It seems to be a necessary evil in this day and age if you want to stay in touch with people. And I do like Instagram a lot too, but I'm not big into social media just because it's just so not, I don't know. I don't know the right words. It seems kind of fake to me. And like people aren't their true selves, which, I mean, you can say that for just about any kind of, I shook, yeah, sorry. Any kind of social media platform. You don't know if I'm being my real self, but I mean, this would be a heck of an act if I was not being my true self. But I mean more like in my circle of friends and stuff, it just seems like people are always so quick to show off things that to make their lives seem better when like that's not always the case. And though of course that's all you're going to highlight, but I just like to know people. I don't know, social media just, it takes so much personalization out of things, and like just seeing how addicted people are to their phones. I'm not big like with technology and stuff. I'm slow to accept new technologies and stuff. Like we have Google, like kind of like Alexa, or any of those other things. Like Google Home is what we have. And I've been so slow. I was so resistant. I did not want anything to do with it. And now I love it, but it's not that I don't like technology. I just think it parts of it have changed the world too much. And it makes me kind of sad because long gone are the days where you call people or stop over, and like social media kind of, like I said, it highlights, people just want to show off, and they want to, it's all about who has more followers, and posting pictures because you think people are going to like them. And I don't know, it's just, I think that part of it is why I kind of fight against it, is because I miss that. You know, unfortunately, a lot of these younger generations don't really know what we're talking about, and it makes me sound old when I talk to my kids about, like, yeah, you used to have to call people and hope they'd answer, or like talking about caller ID or getting up to change the channel, like, though that was starting to fade away when, for me, when I was younger, it was like that. And as I obviously became a teenager and stuff, that's more when, you'd have remotes and stuff. It's not that I dislike technology. I'm just resistant to it. And I miss some of the old school, old fashioned ways of communicating. And I think that's more what my hang up is. But I also love the idea that I am reaching people globally right now. And so I don't know. I'm conflicted when it comes to it. But I do really love YouTube, and I love what YouTube has been able to do to connect the world. Like, to be able to watch people from other countries. It's just so cool to me, like, to learn about other cultures and other countries and what's normal. And I don't know. So I get it. I do get it. I'm not so old-fashioned that, I don't understand it. It's strange. I don't know if I'm even making sense. I hope I am, because I'm not trying to come across like, technology snob, because that's not how it is at all. And there's so much more that I could say about why I dislike like certain social media platforms, but I don't want to like offend anybody, because I don't, like, my mom loves Facebook, and I would never tell her she's stupid or silly or anything for liking Facebook, because I get it. I think I just besides the fact that I was completely addicted to it, and having an addictive personality doesn't help things, but I don't know. I think I'm rambling on and essentially beating a dead horse with this one because I don't dislike anybody that chooses to love and be, know, you know, the people that like to log on to Facebook first thing in the morning. That it doesn't bother me. I don't make fun of people like that or anything like that at all. It does not bother me. It's just for me, I just miss that real connection with people. Is I think why I've decided to be like, oh, nope, I'm just not a fan of Facebook. So please don't take any of that like a personal attack or anything like that, because there's plenty of people in my life that are Facebook obsessed and think that Facebook is the next greatest thing or is the greatest thing or what have you. I'm just rambling. I'm just talking. Let's just move on from that before I put my foot in my mouth and make people upset with me because I don't like their favorite social media platform. Let's see. Where's your favorite place to take an out-of-town guest? Okay, this one's easy. This is not dependent on the season or the time or my feelings. I think I might have mentioned it in one of the other parts when I did this questionnaire thingy. There's this place called Wisconsin Point, and I mentioned that that's where my ancestors are from, but it's like this peninsula style, like beachy area. You can go there and swim, and it's just beautiful. You kind of get the best of both worlds for a nature lover like myself. You get the water, and you get, you can walk around in forested areas. There's not a lot of it. There's enough to get that foresty feeling. But you can just stare out at the lake, and it's just endless. And if not there on the other side of the bridge over in Duluth, you can go to Canal Park and get the same kind of thing. And there's a lot more like touristy things there. Like there's a ship museum down there and a boardwalk. You can rent bikes there, like family bikes where 4 to 6 people can ride on them. You can get tandem bikes. You can get single bikes. So that place is really cool. So I would take somebody, maybe even across the bridge, just to downtown Duluth is kind of fun because there's all kinds of neat like little local shops and stuff down there. And there's a lot of good different restaurants. So many different styles of restaurants down there. So Duluth is a really good place as well if you wanted more activity. And like if you take the boardwalk in Canal Park a little ways down, it's a couple miles, and I actually used to do this little adventure once a week where I'd take the boardwalk there and back. It's a few miles, and at the end of part of it, well, what I like to call the end, it does go on beyond this, but where I like to end my journey is this place called Leif Erikson Park, and then there's a rose garden kind of next to it. And Leif Erikson Park, I think it was, I'm going to get my history super mixed up here, but I want to say that it was like a outpost, and it has something to do with Vikings. There's a lot of Viking history in Duluth as well. And it's just a big old grassy knoll, and there's a little bit of a brick platform left, but you can walk. There's a couple trails that are behind this little platform, this brick platform, and you can go down to the beach, and there's big rocks that you can stand on and look out at the lake. It's like, if you're a photographer, it's a photographer's dream. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And so that's another fun place to go. When Pokemon Go was really big, I am not ashamed to admit that I was a Pokemon Go fan. And me and my husband would go to this Leif Erikson Park. And it was like the Pokemon Go mecca. I mean, there'd be anywhere from like 50 to 200 people there playing Pokemon Go. It was pretty amazing, actually. And now that that's died down, you can kind of have it more to yourself, but it's just beautiful. You can go there and play catch, frisbee. It's kind of like a hill, a little bit of a hill and a grassy knoll. But you can have so much fun there. You could picnic there. There's a lot of weddings there because it's the absolute perfect scenery for an outdoor wedding. So I think those places, I'd probably take them around from Wisconsin Point all the way over to Canal Park and then walk to Leif Erikson Park and the Rose Garden. I think if I ever had a meetup, I would do one there. And so if anybody's local, Duluth, Minnesota or area, or you're around that area, totally let me know. We should do a meetup and hang out and just get to know each other and bring some travel diamond paintings and just sit and diamond paint together in a big group. How fun that would be. I would love it. It would be amazing. And then we could pack up our stuff and go for a little walk on the beach. Yep, my first meetup, that's what I will do. And then maybe if I ever do another one, it would be in St. Cloud, Minnesota. So you guys let me know. I know there's a lot of you that live close to me. I know ideally it would probably be a very small gathering, but I still think it would be fun nonetheless. So I'm a very good tour guide. I could take you around and show y'all a really good time. All right, so what was your favorite subject in high school? Well, I want to say it was English class, but when I was in high school, it wasn't. It wasn't until I went to college that I liked English, and English is just basically your reading and writing and grammar, more or less. But in high school, there was this class called photography and video production, and we got to make like little home movies and stuff with like old style camcorders, that the big ones that would sit on top of your shoulders. And everything we did was in black and white, and I think we got to play around with like 8mm films and stuff. And then we would do, like, that would be the first half of the semester, and then the second half, we played around with 35mm cameras. And we'd take gorgeous black and white photographs, and there was a dark room and everything, and we got to go and develop our own film. And I remember both class projects to this day. And that was way back when I was in 9th grade, or grade 9, or I think it's 14 to 15 years old, I want to say, if I'm remembering correctly. It was around that time. And I just remember the video project was, we had to make a short movie. And it could be about anything we wanted. We just had to get it approved. And I don't remember what my movie was, but I have subtle, like, memories of gathering my cast of, and, like, filming at this elementary school playground. I don't even remember, like I said, what the story was, but I remember filming it, and I remember the feelings I had associated with it the whole time about whether or not it was going to turn out. And then we had to, for our final photography project, we had to find a subject and film it, and I have no idea if I was in frame for that whole last section of me drilling this bottom part. And I realized I just got cut off because I was stupid and I didn't pay attention. So I was talking about the time, if it cut off, where I think it did, about the video and how I was feeling nervous. And I remember the day even being really cold. And then our final actual project for photography, the photography part, we had to find a subject and film it, or photograph it, and several different things. We had to frame it and everything after we got it developed. And I just remember picking my uncle's dog. He had like a, it was like a mix of a Rottweiler and something else. I don't remember anymore what it was now. But I remember he looked just amazing in these photographs, and it was almost like he knew what I was doing. And he just sat back and let me photograph him. And I ended up being so proud of those pictures, I gifted them to my uncle for Christmas. And I kind of wish I still had a copy of them, but I don't. And that's just too bad. I can't believe I didn't, this is all I got done in this 35 minutes was the, I'll turn it sideways. This is the border and the blue color in these feathers. But I said we'd keep going. So this one might be a little bit longer. It might be like closer to an hour, which I'm sure most of you would like anyway. I won't make a habit of having my videos be that long, but I want to make some significant progress on this journal. And if I don't finish it in this video, then I'm going to be doing a post review on these. I don't want to come back and take, pictures and stuff if I'm going to do a post review next week on it. I haven't done a post review in a long time. Anyway, let's get back on track or it'll take me a lot longer than a half hour to finish this. What was my least favorite subject in high school? It was probably somewhere between math and civics. I hated civics. I don't like government stuff. Mostly because it's like a foreign language to me. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. Like, I get politics for the most part, like the most basic part of it. But getting into and that's what civics is basically a government class. And it just goes right over my head. Especially when you get into terminology and remembering presidents and what year they were president and what number they came into be, the 45th president and the 30th president. I don't remember things like that. I can remember presidents and I can remember what certain ones are significant for, but as far as branches of government and stuff, it's just not my cup of tea. I'm an artistic kind of person. I'm not a governmental and political kind of person. Not even in the least. I'm not even going to try to pretend that I am at all. Let's see. Let's just keep going. I was going to get more into that, but no, there's nothing more to say on that. Those are my least favorite subjects. What was your favorite TV show when you were a child? Oh boy. Well, I was really big into TV as a child. That's when TGIF was big. Thank goodness it's Friday. And a lot of those kinds of shows. So, oops, I almost missed this feather over here. So, Full House, Family Matters. I loved all those shows. And I loved watching Nick at Night. So, Lucy, the Lucy and Desi show, or I Love Lucy. I loved that show. Bewitched. I'm trying to think of what other shows I watched a lot as a child. I watched Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Barney at way too late in life. I was very old when I stopped watching those shows. And then I stopped watching them for, I think, just a couple years before I started having kids. So there's that. Wow. All right. So I got 2 whole colors done so far. I'm trying to decide where I want to go next. Do I want to go and finish the feathers? Or do I want to do some of the stuff on the outside? I think I'll finish the feathers. We'll do 6, which is the diamond color. But it's not really, in this kit, it's more glassy looking. I don't know. They're not the typical looking diamonds that I've seen in most kits. They're more silvery. And the tops are more glassy looking. So that's where I'm going to go next, is to work on these feathers. And hopefully I'm staying enough in frame for you guys. what do you love about your favorite TV show? Well, that's kind of a weird question because it's almost like it's asking you what you loved about the show from the previous question. This is question 57, by the way. Well, right now I like smart shows. So, like, for example, I love How I Met Your Mother. And one of the big things I love about that show is the smart editing. Like, Friends is another one of my favorite shows. So I'll use both of these shows to talk about what it is about How I Met Your Mother that I love so much. So in Friends, sometimes they'd have certain storylines that just came out of nowhere and weren't very consistent with the rest. Like they'd give you a detail in an earlier season, but then in a later season, it was like because it needed to fit the story, they would just act like what they said earlier didn't matter. Say something is stupid, like this is not at all accurate, but I'm going to use it for the sake of an example. So say in season 2, they said Rachel's favorite color was green. And then, funny because her last name in the show was green. And then in season 6, it would now sudden her favorite color is pink. Or something like that. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Whereas in How I Met Your Mother, if they made it, there was a few, very few, that were where they kind of were inconsistent with the details. But for the most part, if they did something like that, they were sure to explain why it changed or what happened to make it change. So, like, say in season 2, they said, Ted's favorite color was green. Instead of just being like, oh, no, in season 4, all of a sudden his favorite color is pink, they would explain why all of a sudden that changed. It was smart and very consistent, and you can pick up on more of that stuff when you watch them back to back. You know, I am somebody who usually don't watch a lot of TV shows as they are on the air because I have the need for instant gratification. So I typically wait for shows to come out on DVD and when they're pretty much to the end of their run before I start watching them, because I get so addicted to TV shows that I need to watch them. You know, like I just need to keep watching them until it's done. I obsess when I like a show. And like, I was really into Lost for a long time too because I loved the storyline behind it. So if they can grip me or make me laugh, and I'm not a laugh out loud kind of person, so if a show can make me laugh out loud, that will get me to be a big fan as well. So smart editing, be suspenseful, or because I like a lot of true crime as well, or like crime shows in general, maybe not necessarily true crime, but I like something that makes me think or makes me laugh or has smart editing or consistent editing, has an amazing storyline where you just cannot wait for the next episode to find out more, or even shows that take a whole season to play out a certain storyline. I love cliffhangers, but that's also why I usually wait for shows to come too close to an end where I can just buy them on DVD or watch on Hulu or something, or Netflix. I get into that kind of stuff. So I have just like music, I have a wide range of TV shows that I like, and for many, many different reasons. Are you scared of heights? And I think I answered in a previous question that I am, in fact. I think it was, let me see, really fast. 21. I'm afraid of heights and water. It's like an irrational fear of heights and water. Are you high maintenance? Okay, I'm not high maintenance, but I can be. Certain things I I won't settle, but other things I'm pretty lax about. So yes, I can be high maintenance. And I've been known in the past to be incredibly high maintenance in certain situations or certain occasions. So it depends. Most of the time I am not, but I can be. I can be kind of a diva at times. But really though, I like being low maintenance. I like just throwing my hair back in a ponytail or a loose bun and wearing sweatpants and stuff. But I have been known to be high maintenance from time to time. But overall, no. We're on number 60. Are you more inclined to build your own empire or unleash the potential of others? Wow, that's an interesting question. Are you more inclined to build your own empire or unleash the potential of others? So to me, that's kind of asking me if I'm a follower or a leader. And to be quite honest, I'm both. I definitely want to build my own empire. I have so many empires that I want to build, in fact. But I am happy to follow along and unleash the potential in others. Like, especially my kids or my family or my friends. I want to unleash the power. I want to encourage and uplift them and help them follow their dreams. So really, I'm both. It just depends on what it is that we're talking about and what the situation is. I definitely want to build my own empire. I'm really hoping that this channel leads to many great things. Maybe even developing my own craft kits or diamond painting related products. I do have some things in the works. I do have some things that I was working on, and for Etsy, I was going to open an Etsy store, and I still plan on doing that. Just not as soon as I hoped. I've always wanted to have my own type of, like, I wanted a fashion store or a fashion line at one time, a clothing line. And now my dreams are kind of evolving. And I am hoping to have my Etsy store opened sooner rather than later. But I gotta work on some things. I don't want to open it up and only have a few things or sell out in a matter of, a few days because I didn't have enough inventory. So I guess we'll see. Ultimately, the dream is to build my own empire, but I will also be there to unleash the potential in others whenever I can, however I can. 61. Are you more likely to avoid conflict or engage it head on? Honestly, I don't deal well with confrontation or conflict. I'm very much a big, let's keep the peace. Let's find a way to keep the peace. I like to be a mediator, or I like to make people happy. So I don't like conflict. It makes me uncomfortable. But if there's something that I believe in very strongly, then I'll fight for it. More so when it comes to other people than myself, but if I have to, I will fight for what I believe in, and I will get into conflict if it's necessary. If it's avoidable, I will do everything I can to avoid it first. Let's see. 62. Are you a dog person or a cat person? Well, I'm both. I have a dog. I plan on getting another. And I have 3 cats. Technically 2 cats. One of them is my son's. But they live with me, so he's my cat too. I love both. I love all animals for the most part. I don't think that there isn't any animal that I wouldn't love. No matter how ugly or mean or nice or whatever they are, I don't know. I believe all animals have souls, and anything with a soul I love. So both. Are you a fan of any sports teams? Nope, I'm not a sporty person. My husband is a big fan of Vikings, football team. My mom's a big fan of the Packers. So I will root for them when they are rooting for them. But for the most part, I don't really care. Are you a good cook? 64. Yes. I'm a really good cook. And it's because it's something I can be OCD about. I love baking more than I like cooking, but I like developing my own recipes. And if I get a recipe off the internet, I love to change it and make it my own. I am always known for changing recipes or not following them to a T. But yes, I am a very good cook. Let's see. 65. Are you an early adopter or a late adopter? I think they meant adapter. And it really depends on what it is that we're talking about. Like I told you earlier with technology, I am very much so resistant for most technology. But like when it comes to new products and like new things on the market, I always want to try them out. Like new foods, new cleaning products, I want to try them. So I'm early to that kind of stuff, but like technology, I really got to feel it out, and I got to watch 10 million reviews and get 5 million opinions on it. And so in that sense, I'm a late adopter. 66. If you had more courage, what would you do differently in your life right now? Huh. Silly as it may sound, my videos would be quite different, and I'd be showing you my face. My intros would be me sitting there introducing you to the topic of the video, and then the bulk of the video would be kind of a dual shot where you'd be seeing me and my genuine facial reactions, and you'd also be seeing like the view that I am giving you right now. So it just, like I said, depends. Not depends. That is what if I had more courage, I would definitely be showing my face. I don't know what is holding me back. It's different for different days. Some days it's because I am ashamed of how much weight I've gained from my medication. Other days it's other things. I do want to get there. That is my goal for next year. Like, I wanted to do it for my birthday this year, 2019. But maybe for my birthday, 2020. That'll be what I do. I really want to, because I think it'll humanize me a little bit more, and I've always been kind of funny about, oh, I'm just a set of talking hands. And I know you guys know I'm so much more than that. But I think it'd still be good to put a face to the voice. Let's see. 67. What is good about how you are living your life right now? Well, I think a lot. Since we moved into this house, a lot has changed. And I know I've talked about, my anxieties and the loneliness, but I rarely touch on the things that are good. Like running my own household, it's so amazing. I've lived with other people for so long, like family members and stuff. And my husband and I have never really had the chance to just run our household ourselves. And I think, hands down, that has been the greatest thing. Like, that it's so amazing to have my own routines, and when I decorate something, to know that me and my husband are on the same page, whereas before it was kind of like, my mom and I have different aesthetics and stuff, and my husband never really had a say in how the home was decorated, and now it's like everything is our decision, and him and I have the same taste for the most part, but So it's been amazing running our own household, and like the loneliness and stuff, that is something that, excuse me, will pass as well once, you know, I've lived with my mom, or my mom and I have lived together for so long that it's just a change. It's just different. It's not bad different, it's just different. And so once all of that, you know, oh, there's no glue on that one. I'll have to add a little glue dot to that. I'll just skip it for the time being. But once all that passes, everything will be really good. You know, once I adapt more to my new situation. And, you know, I've only been in this house for a couple months, so it's all still very new. But I am loving everything about it right now. And I kind of, part of me is like, why did we wait so long? But it wasn't really on us. You know, the situation had to be right. Circumstances had to be just right. Life had to be just right. And yeah, it's been great. It's been amazing. 68. If you could eliminate one weakness or limitation in your life, what would it be? You know, I really admire people who, like, I'm a big people pleaser. I never want to rock the boat. I want to make everybody happy all the time. And sometimes I just wish that I could just be more direct with people, especially if they've done me wrong or hurt my feelings. I wish I could just say, hey, that was stupid. That was messed up. You know, why? I just wish I could stand up for myself a little bit more. You know, I'm going to pause really quick so I can go grab the glue that I need. I have this glue pen that I use when I am missing drills. So I just want to pause and grab that so that there's not just a bunch of dead air. Okay, I don't know why I told you I needed to pause. You wouldn't even notice if I did. So this is what I like to use when I'm missing drills or if there's a spot of missing glue. It works well on diamond dots, I guess. I don't know how well it's going to work on here. But I like it because it's got a really fine point. This actually isn't the one that I use. Hold on. Haha. Same brand. Same craft bond and everything. It's this one. The fine line. It's a pen. So you can see why I was confused. It's got this type of tip on it. And it just leaves a little dot of glue. It's kind of runny. And I got to get it going. I got to get it there. But you can leave just little dots. And I've had a few diamond dot ones that were like that. It does dry fast, but it's not an immediate dry. But I do quite like it for this reason. If I can find it on Amazon, I'll link it down below. But last time I tried to find it, I couldn't. I got it at Michael's, if that helps. Okay, so we're done with that one. The last small, there's two more. 9 and 10 are the last normal size drills that I have for this. So I'll probably do 9 because I don't think I'll get through 10 before we have to end this video. And 9 is purple, so I've only had one garbage drill so far out of this kit. I'll probably find a whole bunch now that I said that. I find more drills that don't belong, like different colors and stuff, than I do with the junk drills. So this is a really top-notch kit. And it should be linked down below for your convenience. But I've had really good luck with these drills so far. 9 is just a background color. And it's It's so squishy. It's kind of interesting to work on, and I've been trying to hold it up so that it will eliminate the glare for you, but I kind of wish this would have had a little bit more purple in it. But let's just keep going with the questions so that this video isn't super, super long. I know most of you probably are happy that I'm finally putting up a longer drill with me, because I've been told so many times in the past that that is something that you guys like. So that when you're working, you don't have to switch videos, which is why I like longer videos when I'm drilling. Let's see. So 69, who has left the most impact on your life? Well, I want to say my grandma, but she has and she hasn't. I'm so young. I was so young when she passed that she made the biggest impact on my life as a child. But really, the person who's made the biggest impact on my life is my husband. He's been the one person that, besides my mom or my kids, that has loved me unconditionally, that has supported my many, many endeavors. He's taken care of me. When I've fallen, he has picked me up. Like I said, he supports everything. And he's just an amazing, amazing human being. And I just don't know where my life would have gone had he not been a part of it. And every day I'm so grateful for him. When I first got sober, it was recommended that we start a gratitude journal so that we could, on our roughest days, we could go back and read our gratitude journal to remember the things to be grateful for. And every day that I did this journal, there was something in there that was dedicated to him. And it was just simple, like writing down every day, like, today I am grateful for because. And every day he was in there for one reason or another, and he really has had the biggest impact on my life and continues to, because he's just so amazing. Everybody needs an Adam in their life. 70, what aspect of your life needs tremendous improvement? Oh, geez. Well, I wouldn't say anything needs tremendous improvement, but well, yeah, I've struggled lately I've been trying to quit smoking, and I was doing the e-cig for a while there, and then now I've been smoking cigars. Like, they're filtered cigars, so it's really no better than cigarettes, and I really wish I could stop that, because I think they're worse than cigarettes. They're a lot more harsh, that's for sure. Just because they're flavored doesn't make them better. I mean, better tasting, but it's still tobacco nonetheless, and it's still smoke nonetheless. So right now, I'd say that is the thing that needs tremendous improvement in my life. I'm pretty sure I got cut off again. I didn't pay attention to when the clip switched, so dumb. So I'm sorry if that cut off. If it did, I just talked about what needed tremendous improvement in my life, and I was saying that I still smoke flavored cigars, and I need to quit those. We're almost done. 4 more questions. What's the weirdest thing you've seen in your life? Oh, geez, I don't know. I've seen a lot of weird things. I've had a lot of weird friends, so I don't know that I could name anything without thinking about it for a little while. If I think about it in the next 3 questions, I'll come back to it, but I don't know. There's been a lot of things in my life that have made me say, what? WTF? Let's see. 72. What's the best teacher you've ever had? And that was hands down, without a doubt, my 6th grade teacher. So I would have been, oh God, I don't remember ages and school grades. So let's see, my son is in 7th grade and he is 12, 11 to 12. No, 12 to 13. So 11, I would have been like 11, I think. Well, whatever the age. I was in 6th grade and my teacher's name was Mr. Johnson. And he believed in me so much he would let me do anything. Like, I wanted to always create surveys and survey my classmates to find out their favorite music, and I'd make up graphs and charts, and I was really into science. That's when I learned how much I love science. And he got me into a really prestigious math and science camp, and yeah, he was just amazing. I even brought a beehive to school once that we thought was abandoned, but really the bees were asleep, and we started dissecting it, and bees started flying out in the middle of class. And he still let me do things like that. He still had my back. And he was a really great teacher, and he made a really big impact on my life as well, as far as school and stuff goes. 73. Who is the biggest pack rat you know? Me. I am the biggest pack rat I know. I hoard everything. And I can't throw anything away. Sometimes when we're going through stuff, if we're cleaning out a closet or something, or going through a tote of old things, I have to tell my husband to be the one to throw things away, because I won't. I'll hold on to everything. I don't know why I have such a hard time getting rid of stuff. It could have one tiny little memory attached to it, and I won't throw it away for whatever reason. I don't know if I'm afraid of that memory disappearing, but yeah, I have to have him do it for me. Silly. And finally, question 74. Who is the first person you call when something exciting happens? Well, if my husband's not here, him, and by call, I mean send him a message on Facebook, because I use Messenger as my main texting app. And so he is the first person that I tell exciting things to. But if the exciting thing happened to him and I, then of course it's my mom. I always want to tell her everything that's going on. So it's either going to be, yeah, my husband or my mom. And with my mom, I actually do call her. We do talk on the phone pretty regularly. But that's the end of that. So I hope that helped you guys get to know me a little better. What is falling off? Oh, I'm pulling blue drills off. Oh no. These don't stay down very well, do they? That's super lame. So I guess I know what I'll be sealing when I show you guys how to seal stuff. That's really annoying. I actually got a few comments from people that said the exact same thing, that their drills would fall off their journals. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't still enjoy these journals. Well, I had just saw a random blue one fall, and I kind of wondered where it came from. Oops, that's not it. Oh. I don't know where it went. Son of a gun. Well, that's so weird. Is it in my hands? So weird. Anyhow, all right. So, yes, I hope that this little thing helped you get to know me. There it is. It was stuck to my finger. Get to know me better. Hope you were able to relate to some of the things that I talked about. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. I'm still working on a few things, so stay tuned for that ceiling video that will be out next week, depending on when this video goes out. It should be out around the same time as this. I'm really excited about it because I've been dying to share it with you guys. This little thing that I came across. It's not an easy thing to film. It takes some time. So, yeah, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully it's something that will work, and we're going to have to figure out something for this because I can't be having the drills fall off. That's like the last thing that you want to happen, which means A, it's not very good glue, or this is not the ideal surface for diamond painting. If you guys did order this from my link, let me know if yours happen to be similar. But the reason I don't like sealing things is because I think it takes away from it. I guess we'll see, but I'd rather them be on there and be dulled a little bit than falling off. Okay, well, that aside, this is where I'll leave you. We got all the smaller drills done except for the yellow number 10s, which it outlines the Dreamcatcher and the feathers. So, all right, guys, this has been a long one. Thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so that you are updated every time I upload a video. You don't want to miss out on stuff just like this. And until next time, I will talk to you then. So have an awesome day. Have fun doing whatever it is that truly makes you happy. Love you, friends. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.